flavors change in taste, but that's least of your problem. Why? Because you're the type of person that has a tower on their desk. And welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. I'm Vin, that's Jordan, that's Sandy,
Rapunzel,
together with you, with chest hair a-flowing, helping us for Cocaine Voltra. Hi, serious show, as always. What's going on? What's new? We got plenty to talk about. OMG, change your passwords. Steam got hacked. No, it didn't. Don't worry about it. But yeah, worry about it. And benchmarking things on Linux on your Steam Deck. You're going to be able to make that little bastard scream. Then we're going to have a very serious discussion about why RGB is the least of your problems for that horrible PC that you built. But first, what's going on? What's up? What's new? I finished up a little bit of a review for that GeekCom A5 2025 edition.
Ooh.
Turns out that is the quietest damn PC I now own. And
Amazing.
It's a mini PC. And I'm talking quiet after 45 minutes under 100% load. Like, as I wrote on Interfacing Linux, if that thing was compiling a kernel, somebody could throw it at your head. And no, you wouldn't hear it coming at you. Which blew my damn mind because I tried to get away with the G5 705 Mini, that HP one I bought. That thing turned into a jet engine the second I opened up like WebRTC. This thing, you don't give a shit. It's because it's a laptop part. It's a laptop part with a big ass copper cooler on it.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Yep.
Anyway, go check that out, Interfacing Linux. If you're looking for a mid-range desktop PC with AMD graphics on it, it runs Linux. I think ETA Prime did a video on one too. So if you run Windows, go watch that, because the first thing I did was wipe Windows. I lit a Windows 11 license on fire. I don't even know. I was like, I probably could like get that, extract that somehow. No idea.
Sell it to someone. No.
You're like,
Hey man, you want some Windows keys? Just like hang around a cyber cafe with a trench coat. Be like, got some Windows licenses.
A cyber cafe. Go Google that, children.
They're still around. They are inexplicably.
Really?
Listen,
Yeah,
I've
not
not
seen-
seen cafes.
I've not seen a cyber cafe since the 90s, and I'm not being joking at all.
There are a few. I have seen them here. Yeah.
And the one I'm thinking of closed in the 90s, but it was awesome. We always went there because it was called the Hard Drive.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
How was the commute there?
The what?
The commute.
The commute to the hard drive?
Was it a hard drive?
No. It was a hard comma drive.
Ooh.
Yeah. What's up? What's new, man? You taking a break from braiding your chest hair?
I am. You know, I gotta try various different
you ever think
styles.
about like, maybe cutting some shapes in there, man? Like get a little pattern?
Ooh. I had
Big
to get
heart shape?
I had to get a heart scan done at one point, and they shaved some chunks out of my chest hair. I thought it looked a little weird. I don't know.
Did they like politely shave it, or they're like, you better shave that, or this is going on either way?
Yeah.
No, the lady just came in with a razor.
Okay.
She's like, I need to shave you, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. No, so we finally got around to watching Death of a Unicorn.
That's another thing on my list, man.
Yeah. Solid film. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I am a little brain poisoned by doing this podcast for fucking 13 years, because every time that fucking unicorn shows up, my brain is just like, Steve, Linux update.
Really?
But yeah, honestly,
Mine goes to Ravercorn, man.
But yeah, no, it was solid movie. Well acted. Jenna Ortega plays Jenna Ortega. You know, she plays the one character, but she does it well. Paul Rudd. There's a lot of it's a weird Marvel character, Marvel actor. Like, I guess this was like in between shoots of Marvel movies. These guys were available, and so they just had them make a movie.
It seemed like an interesting move. Can the unicorn talk?
The unicorn cannot talk, but people do snort unicorn horn.
All right.
Of course.
So yeah, so
Work for Cocaine Bear.
once that started happening, all right, yeah, no, it's a solid movie. I don't want to give too much away.
All right, no, don't. I mean, I definitely want to watch it. I was just curious. I was like, did they even attempt for a plot, or they're like, nope, let's just.
Oh no. There is a plot. It is very bare bones, but it sets up the unicorn murders, and that's what you're really there for, right? Like,
The unicorn murder sounds too classy. It's like something on like.
that's the novelization. That's like the original book it was based off of, the unicorn murders. And then you have to rename it to Death of a Unicorn.
The Tale of Unicorn and Murders. Yeah.
Yeah, a tale of two unicorn murders. Moby Unicorn Murder. And saw Devin Townsend and Tesseract. I found out Tuesday night, hey, you're gonna go see a fucking metal show, and I'm like, that's neat. And then day of, they're like, hey, you're going to the private balcony, and I'm like, neat. I've never done that before.
I have to compete with you peasants.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know. It was a little weird. Usually, I like being up in the pit, and it's more like watching
It's
a
like
movie.
being in the sky, but yeah.
Or like watching a play or a stage show or something than like being at a concert. It was a bit of a strange experience.
I've done the backstage thing, which kind of sucked. And like for sports ball, I've been in a booth, and I'm like, yeah, that's like watching TV. I'm like, what the fuck's the point of this?
Yeah.
I want the cheap beer. I want to be on the floor.
But like part of it too is like when I go see like a live band, I like watching them like actually play their instruments, and like when you're far away, you can't really. The best we could make out was that the bass player for Tesseract definitely was not wearing shoes.
That's awesome.
I would be scared to be on stage without shoes, dude.
You get foot aids. That's the worst kind.
Well, and apparently this is just the thing he does, because like we looked it up, and like all the photos of him like performing live, he's not wearing shoes. So
I mean, if I was going to see like Grateful Dead cover band or some shit, but like metal band, no shoes, I'm like, oh, broken glass, possibly. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd be scared of stepping on something.
I mean, like the stage is like pretty high up compared to like
Gravity
before.
works. Hey man,
in reverse.
No, not this week. You have on fancy dress. This is the first time you ever been on the show without wearing fucking plaid.
I take offense to that, good sir.
You're representing the Canadian airplanes.
Oh yes, the Winnipeg Jets. Yeah,
Because
it's playoffs, baby.
That's their real logo too.
Yes, they're actually so they're a big supporter of the Canadian Air Force. So as a hockey team, so whenever they win a game, whoever's the MVP on the team usually gets a military jacket to wear.
By the way, show title for this episode: Sandy and the Jets.
Sandy and the Jets.
Sandy and the Jets. Yes. Oh yeah, no. So right now the Winnipeg Jets are playing the Dallas Stars, and it should be second period starting now as the time of this recording. So yeah, hopefully by the time that you, the viewers on YouTube, see this, the Jets have won, and they'll be going on to a Game 7. So
if you hear screaming from Sandy's microphone, something has happened in regards to this game.
Yes, exactly.
Or if you follow him on his TikTok and he's burning that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
No, I won't do that again.
He just keeps one out there. It's concerning.
Yeah. Why does he keep walking outside? Like, I don't get it.
Someone should really intervene. Maybe we should tell the horse.
I was going to say, dude, how are you going to fucking leverage that one?
Yeah, listen. The horse is very concerned with child safety and wants to make sure that the only thing they're in danger of is inputting their parents' credit card into monetization. It's the Steam Drip, drip.
You need to panic. You need to worry. You need to run. You need to hide. Why? Because all of the Steam stuff has been leaked everywhere. All of your account data is not all over the internet, but goddamn, man.
Your phone number might be.
Your phone number, possibly that could happen. Now, I saw earlier this week at our super secret Discord, I saw Jordan like post that, and that was the first I heard of it. Then I went like looking around. I'm like, oh shit, juicy details to talk about.
I figured I posted it as like a public services announcement of like, hey, if something's
right.
Yeah.
And like, if you're reading like, what passes for the tech blog journalism and gaming journalism, it was apocalyptic. Like, you just lost everything, man. Your account's already gone, and
all your TF2 hats gone.
Yeah.
And
your CSGO skins sold.
Went over to Christoph's post over on LinkedIn, and he's like, it's a fart in a puddle. That's the darknet. The Onioners called it back in their day.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? A threat actor wants to sell 89 million SMS SIM log records and contain a lot of really boring metadata, like phone numbers. Like, okay. Also, don't put your real phone number on the internet. Go get like a Google voice number or pay. What, I don't know. You can't do it with Skype anymore. But yeah,
and some stuff cracks down on that. They don't want you using it as well. But like,
yeah. So like the big thing here is like this possibly could be leveraged to like phishing campaigns, maybe.
Yeah. The most of it is what like phone numbers and expired one-time passwords. So nothing like directly useful.
Oh, dude, we get it. Steam acted in like 23 hours.
Yeah. They had to turn around like pretty quick because you know when people are like, oh, there's a breach on Steam. Yeah. They're like, oh no, yeah, we can't stop people from spending money on Steam. We gotta address this. But yeah, this is just a friendly reminder. MFA, all the things. Use the Steam Authenticator. Use SteamGuard. When you can, don't use SMS authentication. There are situations people always like to say, oh, you should never use SMS authentication. It's generally bad. There are situations where
better than
it is
fucking nothing.
Yeah, better than nothing. Or if you're in a situation where you don't necessarily have access to the device all the time because you're in like an abusive situation.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a breach of Steam systems. No, there was no hacks. No hacks.
And you can check your authorized devices, which is like something you should always do. Do that with your Google accounts. Do that with anything that offers that.
Check like what the login history too is. Because sometimes it'll be like, why the fuck are people from Brazil trying to hit my account?
Like sometimes it's interesting to see. You're like, oh, you tried, didn't you?
Yeah.
What you
you gotta.
Good.
Oh, I was just gonna say you gotta two-factor authenticate everything, kids. Like it doesn't matter what account it is, two-factor authenticate it always. Like that kind of stuff is super important in this day and age when doing anything, creating any account anywhere.
Well, we've been over it multiple times. Like, you need the Steam Authenticator installed on your Android or iOS device. I don't know what you do with your fucking Sandy's got a Ubuntu phone. He was that guy.
Yeah. Ubuntu Touch. Yeah. Dude, you just install like regular Steam on that?
I guess.
Run it in box 86.
Yeah, I have a guide, man. If you want to get it up and running.
Yeah, man. Like you got to have all the apps.
Yeah, the mobile authenticator. You need to have that installed because when I saw this, my first thought was not panic. It was like, man, you're not going to get any of my shit off of Steam because you need that mobile authenticator to get through. But it also made me have a think. Valve, maybe you listen. Just the entity, the AI, known as Valve now.
GLaDOS. Yes.
Valvos. How about this? More people would readily adopt. I know you give out like an Achievo or an award or a hat or whatever for having Authenticator installed. It's not the Authenticator so much. It's that your Authenticator is tied to an entire goddamn store. And that app is designed by somebody at least related to whoever designs the Steam desktop client, which I mean, it's garbage. It's slow. It's clunky. So yeah, I understand people's, if somebody like, I'm still going to like install it anyway, but and
like, as far as MFA apps go, like actually, again, we were talking about this in the pre super shows.
Yeah.
You can kind of wave it in the vicinity of the QR code and it will pick it up. It's
I would love a nice little app that just popped up, login, because you don't have to like, this is like one of the weird things of like the whole point of like having all that. I'm sure Valve's like convenience, but also it'd be nice. I'm never going to buy anything on my fucking tablet or mobile for Steam. I'm clearly at my computer right then if I'm trying to log in, dude. I don't know.
They're trying to get you with the push notifications and on the Steam sales because they'll be like, hey, this is on sale on your wish list. It's like, cool, I'm going to wait till I get home and then buy it. And I'm not like in a rush to.
Maybe I'm the only one because that's the first thing I do. I disable all that crap, dude. Like the only thing I use the Steam app for. Why? Because it's such a slog to open. Yeah. I mean, it's not unbearable, but it's by far the slowest application on any of my devices to wind up and get in there and get that. And I close it, and I force close it too, because I don't want to sit in the background. But yeah, I don't want notifications, any Steam notifications. Maybe some people do. If you do it, let me know down there in the comments. Two-factor all your things. But Jordan, Sandy, you were talking about, I think, Jordan, you were talking about like fingerprint IDs and stuff like that in the pre super shows. And
FIDO. It would be nice if like Steam actually like supported stuff like FIDO authentication or like just more general TOTP stuff. Like, yeah, having it tied to the app. I understand they want to have it all integrated, and I know they do that. They use it for like Steam item trading, like if you're trading hats and if you're trading like skins and stuff. Part of that process involves the authenticator. But like again, I really do feel that like making it this sort of bespoke custom app really limits the. I guess it reduces the security like exposure.
Well,
maybe
you think about it. Like nowadays, like everybody's probably got at least one fingerprint scanner in their house.
Oh,
be it
easily.
On your mobile device or whatever you got lying around. And I think this is too dangerous. It is.
Oh no, I don't want to advocate for biometric authentication.
Well, here's the problem. You get your thumbs. You get your too easy to get on. Just walk up to you, take your thumb.
Yeah. I don't want people stealing my thumbs, face, or eyeballs.
So, what we need to do, and like your hands are just right there too. I just grab it like boop. We need to start using big toe identification.
No, I thought it was like, you want to steal someone's eyeball, you just like walk up to them, you stick your mouth over their socket, and you go.
Two-factor. You got to take off your shoes and your socks.
Yeah,
you got to get your toe up there. Way more secure.
I'm more in support of middle toe. I'm all for middle toe.
You break your full neck.
Toes.
Like what happened to Sandy? Toes.
I know.
No, every time you want to log into your computer, you need to provide a urine sample.
You just want another excuse to piss on your computer. I know you do.
Yeah.
You're not fooling me again.
Listen, I do, but I'm not wrong.
I know it's yours, but you don't have to keep pissing on
it. Challenge pissing.
Yep. Listen, I can't get wet. You're the one getting wet.
Yeah.
You know, somebody throughout history, statistically, this has probably happened thousands of times, has been drunk enough to get up in the middle of the night and piss on their computer.
I know someone who like peed in a grandfather clock.
I know somebody who straight up pissed in the closet. Why? Because it was my closet. That was the what are you doing? You're like, what? I'm like, right. Okay. Closet was empty. It was, I don't understand how they got turned around. Let's talk about not Steam Decks, which is something we're going to be talking about more and more and more in the future. And of course, I'm talking about SteamOS compatibility, because Steam has got a nice little chit chat here, man. We're announcing new compatibility rating system for SteamOS devices, implying that, hey, there are two. An extension of Steam Deck verified. So yeah, the Legion Go. This is what it's going to be talking about. What's going to be starting with? It's going to be per device ratings, and it's probably, like right now, it's not a big deal, but I always try to think a little bit into the future. So if you got the device, let's say I got a Legion Go, it's going to tell you, hey, this is compatible with your Legion Go, which is dope. I'm down with that. I can live with that.
But so it's not though. It is not hardware specific. That is the problem. It is just SteamOS compatibility. They're saying, will this run on SteamOS? And it is a lower set of requirements than the Steam Deck compatibility. They do talk about this in the article. Insofar as that, like, Steam Deck verified means that, like, someone has actually QA'd it on the Steam Deck. SteamOS compatibility means that in terms of setting and in terms of middleware, there's not anything that will stop it from launching on SteamOS. So no Denuvo, we'll talk about that in a little bit. No easy anti-cheat, no stuff like that. That is more what this is going to be designed for, in terms of like, will this be able to run on your platform at all?
Well, that's what I'm looking at right now, is like they're going to see SteamOS compatibility results.
Yeah.
Instead of Steam Deck verified, I'm guessing.
No. So it's going to be both. So you're gonna, if you are viewing it on a Steam Deck, you're going to get through the menu, you're going to get the Steam Deck verification. Yep. If you're just on like Linux or another like SteamOS thing, you're going to get the SteamOS verified or not. And again, it is basically just, is there anything that is directly stopping this from running on Proton?
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't know, it's kind of just like an additional shrug emoji. We've been talking for months about how the rating system for like Steam Deck Verified is kind of less than useless because it's gamed, it's not really accurate, and all this does is it throws in another like, yeah, maybe it will work. I don't see why it wouldn't. And I feel this is going to be really bad optics.
I think things are going to get really soupy because like that Legion Go's got more grunt to it.
Yeah.
Than the Steam Deck, but then again, it comes down to compatibility. See, what I was under the impression of, not according to this, but what I was led to believe with my own imagination, was in order to get Steam Deck verified, you basically had to be able to do one-to-one compatibility with the Steam Deck, and this tells me right here, that's not the case.
No. Yeah, and again, all verified means is that, you know, it can run at 30 frames a second. It has visible text at 720p. You don't have to have a keyboard plugged in to actually like play the fucking game. And like, people take that as like, oh, the Steam Deck can run anything, and this is where we get people who are like, well, I can't run the new Assassin's Creed game on the Steam Deck because you know it requires a huge PC, and this is not that. So yeah. I do wish that there was more granularity here. I do wish that there was like a better notion of like what the actual compatibility is.
I would like the granular, long as it was like, I don't even like having one for the Legion Go. Or like, I want to see how this, what I'm getting at is this, hear me out, is how's this going to look when there's 30 SteamOS devices?
This is literally, will it run on SteamOS? And that's kind of it.
How are they going to, like, you got to, yeah, I'd have to go back and reread that documentation of like how you get a device certified. And there was like multiple versions of like can run Steam, is certified.
Yeah, but in the article they're talking about like how, you know, if you're a developer, you need to fill out a couple questionnaires. You don't have to do all that much. This is just to like make sure that Steam knows, you know, what kind of stuff your game is running so that it can make this recommendation. And and again, this kind of like kicks the technical debt can down the road to the Proton team, and we're gonna see more like of these sorts of fixes in Proton as opposed to like the game engines and the game code getting fixed. So I don't know. I feel it is
if
a
not Steam
weird
Deck get wrecked.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird situation. It's going to be very, very muddied, and official response you're going to get is shrug emoji.
What do you think about this though? Because like, what was it like? What was it? The Nikki game, Infinite Nikki, which is like one of those collectathon games.
It's an anime game or something
like that. And the Denuvo or whatever they had installed on there did what we were talking about all those years ago. It was checking for Steam Deck. It didn't see a Steam Deck. It wouldn't let you fucking play on the desktop.
Yeah.
So like, how's that going to fucking play out?
I have no idea. And part of it is like there's no standardization, right? So. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see what this actually means when the Go hits GA and some people actually start getting it in their hands. I do think though that it's going to get a lot messier once we start getting like other SteamOS handhelds in the mix.
Standy, yes.
Standy.
Standy.
Oh man, we need to get like a cardboard cutout of Sandy and call it Standy.
No.
Standy Martin.
I love it.
All right. What is your rant about?
Okay, so my big thing was that, like, I'm trying not to sound like an entitled prick when I was writing this shit in the show.
I'm trying to not sound like a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. I'm trying not to be a cardboard cutout at this point. But like, if it's gonna be SteamOS compatible, like, it should be on the devs to make sure that it interacts. Like, there should be a standard set for the devs to make it so that way how it interacts with SteamOS, regardless of whether it's on the handheld or if it's on, like, say, the people's PCs, like, that it like, because the problem is right now is, like, there's a lot of games that run great on the Steam Deck and SteamOS, but the problem is they got game clients, and nobody, like, because people are wanting that controller experience.
So what you're really saying is we need to ban launchers.
No. No.
I mean,
maybe. Why not? You know what? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not? Why not?
I mean, it's not a controversial opinion by any stretch.
I don't know.
No. But like one of the things that they could easily do with the Steam API, the Steam API is like there's a configuration where you can set up in the code so that way you can give the people a choice whether they want to launch through the game launcher or whether they just go right into the game. Like, it's been done before.
But I mean, listen, here's the thing. Then you might not see all the fantastic sales and deals we have for you in our launcher. My God! And if you click on that, we don't have to worry about giving Steam any money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it also is like antithetical to like the whole like value add of Proton from like the software development side of like, you really don't have to do anything, your game will just run.
Yeah.
And like it is really hard to be selling that and also being like, hey, you also have to make sure that this will work with our system, even though we're saying also out of the other side of our mouth it will just run. So
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I understand why Valve has been so slow, because this is going to be hopefully a controlled shit show.
Yeah.
It's still going to be some level of shit show. Like, I guarantee you, when the Legion Go comes out, there's going to be a whole new set of like, oh fuck, and then whatever comes out.
Man, all the articles, all the think pieces. Oh god, we're gonna have to read so many of those fucking things. They're
going to be like, this is trash now. Linux gaming's dead. I'm like, fuck off.
No, you're an idiot. But like, okay, but one more quick point to add on to that. I think that having the difference between handheld and SteamOS is going to help them in the long term, just because it's like you're going to have like that separation for the people who are building those mini PCs versus the handhelds.
Well, I mean, SteamOS, I think, works a lot like, the difference between developing on iOS and developing on Android, dude. Because like once that SteamOS is out there, you're not going to know the dimensions of that screen. You're not going to know if there's going to be a controller plugged into it, or you get a fucking keyboard and Microsoft Sidewinder flight stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why does this thing control my cursor? You get a Steam Deck right now. You know what the game is, and like get your Steam Deck verified. So like, I don't think, Jordan, do you think there'll ever be like a SteamOS, just general verification?
I think the nature of the environment would really need to change for something like that to happen, and I don't think that's likely to happen.
What if it's the year of the Linux desktop?
Oh, well, it might be the year of the Linux laptop.
No, that was in 2006.
Oh, it's coming up soon, man. But maybe we can go back all the way then. So Valve puts out these monthly top release charts. We've talked about them periodically. Way back when, I remember back when I was a young little system administrator, we would go through one of these every month and be like, oh, hey, here are the Linux native games that were the top sellers this week or this month. They may not have made all their sales on Linux, but they had a Linux client, and we want to further amplify them. And we stopped doing that as there became fewer and fewer games that were releasing natively on Linux. Steam Deck, Proton happens, native Linux gaming kind of dead. Not really, but for the most part. But if you want to go back in time and look at all of the other top games, you can. They have created a new automated process now, and you can go all the way back to 2004, back when Half-Life 2 was released on Steam, and see what the top games were. I actually did, because I figured, let's see what was there in the early days. And
there was
a great
Linux game, right? Hey, man, they got haste right up there.
That's true. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
We got options for Steam Deck.
We do. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are Steam Deck verified, though. Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea. I just clicked on the button.
Actually, no. This is this is top games on Steam Deck. But yeah, the first non-Valve top Steam game was Ragdoll Kung Fu from early 2006. Which is a game that I learned existed today. And yeah, a lot didn't really happen until like July of 2006. That's when like a couple more games were like actually released on Steam. There were a couple that were like trickling in and out, but that was like the first big dump.
Oh, here we go. I got to get real small.
Real small. And yeah, it was kind of interesting taking a trip back in memory lane, remembering some of those Tomb Raider Remastered, man, when that was the new game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Counter
also,
Stork too, yeah.
Counter Stork. The top seller list now has been automated. So once upon a time, we were waiting for the Valve intern of the week to the Valve Linux intern of the week to go and update these reports. Now they're automatically generated. So at the top of the month now, you can go look at them.
It's always just good to like check in, right?
Oh yeah.
See where we've come from, right? Like it's always good. Like 2004 doesn't seem like that long ago, but it was also like 20 fucking years ago. So
Yeah, I was just gonna say 20 years ago. Damn it.
What was the first game that you bought on Steam that was a Linux title?
Ooh, probably one of the.
We're not counting on like our humble import. Because that was like before everybody got the Steam. Here's what happened: is like we found a workaround to get into the client, and then we just started like feeding our fucking Steam keys from Humble in there just to see if there was a Linux version.
I would probably Serious Sam. It was one of the Serious Sam games. It wasn't a Linux. I didn't play it on Linux, but it did have a Linux version, so I'm going to say that counts.
Okay. First thing you bought on Steam, Sandy, that you clicked buy.
Team Fortress 2.
TF2?
That was Linux.
Okay. Mine was that. Did I have to buy? No.
Technically, I didn't buy Half-Life and Counter-Strike on Steam because I had like the disc version, and you could punch the CD keys into Steam in the early days, and that would just give you the copy. So
I bought Counter-Strike 2, a game that I played like 8 minutes of, just to send that signal. Bought Half-Life 2, bought Half-Life. I think it might have been Half-Life, because I think like when it officially launched and whatever, there was like a Half-Life bundle or something.
Yeah, okay, so when they officially launched on Linux, they had mentioned that they were going to be porting a lot of their games over to Linux.
Yeah.
TF2 was like the first one, I'm pretty sure.
I remember TF2. I remember somebody like replying me in like fucking IRC, dude.
Yeah, because I bought the orange box at the time, which was all the games. So
I bought the orange box on Xbox.
Yeah, nice. So I bought the orange box, and that gave me the little Tux add-on for all the characters, so I could have like the Tux Penguin. And that
I never got into TF2, dude. I tried. I was Quake World back in the day, man. So like that's just Quake World with cartoon characters, and like I just never got into TF2 though. I don't know why.
It was probably the cartoon characters.
Listen, dude, Quake 1 characters didn't look that great, man.
Quake 1 characters look dope as hell. Even though they were pixelated, they were dope as hell.
God, dude. They looked rough, man.
Yeah, they were.
Well, let's stop talking about Quake. We got another shooter we got to talk about.
Exactly. Right. Doom! Yeah. The latest news comes from Reddit. So one user was... the greatest news source of them all.
It's the front page of the internet, Jordan.
Yeah. So, a dude posted a screenshot of trying to launch the new Doom Medieval, and he got a big screen.
That's what it says on the store, the Doom, Medieval.
So, he got a big screen of nope because Denuvo kicked in and said, "You ain't playing, man."
D-Tech just kicked in, yo.
Yeah. Well, and it was for a dumb reason too. It's because, you know, a new game comes out, regular Proton experimental may not work. You might want to try a GE, you might want to try another Proton variant. And yeah, if you swap it around too much, New was like, "Hey, quit installing this game on 500 computers, you're banned."
Yeah.
3 times. I talked about it when it happened on the show a couple of years back. Is I bought Devil May Cry because it finally went on a price. I'm like, yeah, I'll give you like $20 for it.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier days of Proton, whatever didn't work, and I think I tried like maybe Proton G didn't work, and I swapped. I was like, maybe it'll work with Proton. I got that same shit.
Mm-hmm.
Denuvo. Just bought the game. Had to wait, just like this gentleman, 24 hours to take another crack at it. That's still a problem. I thought this would be fixed by now. Apparently, it's still an issue in 2025. And I think what really wound me up about this is, you know, me, I ain't got time. Even back then, didn't have time. I'm like, I'll just wait it up. fuck it, whatever. I'll bitch about it on the show. I had the show to bitch about that problem on. This person sent in a support ticket to Denuvo. And they're like, this is some bullshit. And Denuvo's like, they just closed it.
And they're like, yeah, it is.
Yeah. Sounds like it's your bullshit, not ours.
Yeah.
I'd be mad, man. Like,
yeah, it's the whole install limiting thing is like such a stupid practice. The only way you could make it even dumber is if you thought you would like be able to charge per install Unity, but like the moral of the story here is don't buy games if you're gaming on Linux at launch. Wait until the draconian DRM is removed. We talked about this a couple months ago, the Denuvo report. They only want people to be using Denuvo on their games in the first 6 months because that is when it has the most effect on sales. If you just wait that out, it goes away. They usually remove it.
And sometimes they don't want to way quicker than that, dude. It'll be like first 2 or 3 weeks. Why? Because they don't want to pay Denuvo.
Yeah, they don't want to pay the licensing fee. Like, that's not you buy the piece of software and you get to use it forever. You are paying a recurring license for that. So yeah, just wait.
The real question.
Patient.
Sandy, what do you think of the new Doom?
I don't have it yet.
You see.
But it looks dope as hell.
Fortunately, I noticed that it's been ported to Twitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
I've been playing the Twitch port.
Oh my god!
Yes, you know, in the same way that you were playing on your older brother's
it's
player
like that, but I don't even hold the controller. Yeah, I'm like, all right.
Oh my god!
So I've been doing the Twitch port, and I see where they're going. Like they're turning it. It's definitely more RPG. There's like it's weird seeing like story and character development in fucking Doom.
Yeah, especially when 2016 is like Doom guy actively starts punching people who are explaining things to him because he doesn't want to listen to them.
One of the things I did like about like the other Doom was the fact, and even if you watch like playthroughs now, people are doing a lot of melee attacks. People love the melee attacks in that Doom.
Okay, it was fun in 2016, but by the time you get to Spider Boss Man in 2016, like you're a little worn out with the glory kills, dude.
I don't know. I never got tired of glory kills.
I mean, I was just, I would do them, but they'd lost their fun. Like,
well, at some point you're numb to the flashing lights and like the sparkles.
Right. Like you got that down. That's just another thing in your arsenal. You pull out the chainsaw to get the ammo and like it was fun. It was good.
I still love sparkle. But this is where this is derived from, is because people love doing those glory kills. And like look at that shield, man. The shield, like, mechanics, I love it. I fucking love it.
Oh, God. See, if you keep feeding into this, if we got this next Doom, there's going to be dodge roll. This is a dangerous path, man.
Doom Souls.
Yep.
Doom Souls.
well, it's kind of this weird thing when you like look at like, oh, the origin of Quake. It started off as like a D&D dungeon crawler game, and then it like turned into a sci-fi game, and now we're kind of coming like full circle again.
Exactly. It's coming back around,
but it's going to be the Dark Souls of dodge roll because it's going to be first person dodge roll.
Yeah.
In VR,
so you get the extra camera, like
on the Deckard, so you get all the motion sickness. Yeah.
Yes.
You know what? Here's like the thing, though, man. I saw like a couple of people. One guy I watched, he was playing it. He was like, "This is really cramping my hands up," and I'm like, "Yeah, at our age, I understand that." He's like, "This is really cramping my hands up." That's controller noises. And I'm like, I don't know if I can watch you anymore. Not judging anybody, but actually I'm going to judge him a little bit because he's like, but I'm playing on nightmare mode. And I'm like, that's like medium, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way in hell you could do like legitimate nightmare mode on a controller because you got like, it has a slow down mechanic to switch weapons because you don't have number keys.
Yeah. I think 2016 Doom had that too, didn't they? Or?
It might have. Like, like, hey, listen, Jordan, me and you were old veterans at playing Quake with the controllers.
Yeah, with the Steam controller, yeah.
Like, but we did it as I'm not judging anybody. Like, whatever, you play whatever works for you, man. Because I was talking to Ogie, and Ogie's like, I'm just going to shut up. I ain't saying anything. I'm like, all right, you're going to play it on console. Go for it, man.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it is very playable on a controller, though. Which,
Yeah, you posted that thing in chat realm where the guy's like, "This is the most console-oriented Doom in the history of Doom."
not completely out of line. You remember the first time you? Okay, I had no idea. I was oblivious of what went on in the console world until I played Skyrim. Like, I remember talking to you and Pedro. I was like, "What's the wheel thing?" You're like, "For control." I'm like, "Oh." Because it didn't make a goddamn bit of sense. I'm like, this is the stupidest ass interface. So why do I gotta like spin in a circle with the mouse? I'm like, right.
Control.
All right.
I too am a big fan of just press the number and then the weapon appears.
Yeah.
But then they layer it up and I'm like, how many times do I need to mash 5 to get the actual thing I want?
What was the second Doom called? Doom Eternal?
Yeah, Eternal.
Okay.
Yes.
Where I tapped out on Doom Eternal was in the arena when I had to use the shoulder rockets on top of juggling, and I'm like, I can figure this out. I know I can. I just don't know if I got the time investment to get good.
Eternal really requires you to use every single tool at your disposal.
It's wild, man. Like, I mean, I had the feel. I'm like, I could do this. I was like, I got time to do this.
I can do this, but I'm so tired.
Yeah. Mom!
I felt it was like definitely like I could play it now again on normal. I don't know why people like dick kicking mode. I guess it's a streamer thing, but like personally,
it's an EP thing.
Dude, I play it on normal settings, whatever game I'm playing, default, unless it's boring.
Okay. Yeah.
If it gets boring, I'll take it up a notch. But like, yeah, I don't want anything. Like, there's nothing wrong with like story mode.
Yeah, and like sometimes I'll knock a game to easy if the gameplay isn't like really like meshing with me, but I'm enjoying the story or whatever. It's like, yeah, like.
Also, if there's some bullshit time wasting boss, and I'm like, wait, can I finish the door real quick?
Yeah.
All right, done.
Can't be accusing people of having bad wrong fun, man. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like what do you prefer, man?
Yeah, how dare you not spend your free time enjoying yourself? You must suffer.
They do. That's what they prefer, Jordan. They prefer going straight to nightmare mode. And I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you can also just hire a dominatrix to like stick things up various holes, and like if you want to suffer.
I'm too cheap. I'll do it myself.
Typical Doom move. Typical Doom move. Doomer.
Yeah. Doomer.
All right. A couple of new games this week, starting out with
a game. Yeah, certainly a game.
Games. Yeah, this is everybody's favorite game. You shut the fuck up, dude. Like, we've all played this game probably as much as we've played any video game. And I'm just talking about like system benchmarks, man. You know, it doesn't matter what benchmark you're running. Like, you're running Geekbench, speed test, whatever, you name it, we've run it. I'm talking about OCCT. And this is going to be a new stress test app for Linux. And we talked about it a bit ago, man, a couple of months ago, when there was an announcement like, hey, this is going to be on Steam Deck. It's going to be a thing. And it's just going to straight up give you an easy way to use cross-platform CPU smacking and just burn up that battery life. Test out that power supply and see if you can turn your CPU into a block of silicon without lightning in it. There's actually a release date now. Steam store page is up, June 2025. No idea what the pricing is going to be. I remember like looking over the pricing for that, and like the thing with me is like I looked at what was going on over on the website, and they're like, hey, for personal use and all that. And I think it was, I don't know if it was free, but it was like super cheap. But like as soon as you get into like personal small business type thing, it's like, call me.
Yeah, it was very much like if you are fleet testing like or performance testing like fleets or clusters or something,
right,
then you want the enterprise license.
And I think about that as like I'd like to use this tool for interfacing Linux. If it, you know, something that's reproducible, I can use on a Windows machine, Linux machine, on a Steam Deck, you know, anything that's going to be running Linux, and it's going to save everything, keep track of it. You know, I don't want to run afoul. You know, I'm like,
okay, so on their website. The personal basic bitch edition is free. Mm-hmm. There's a subscription mode for €4.50 a month. And that like and that gives you some like line jumping features. And then for business it is for business it is call us. Yeah, get a quote. Let us negotiate.
Yeah, right.
Let us do business.
It's like, what's the price? It's like it's different for everyone. Oh.
Yeah, the guy on the other end of the phone is like literally just a Ferengi. He's just like, well, let's see.
You just hear Dabo in the background, like, God damn it.
Yeah. Mooger.
I don't know, man.
I'm going to. God.
I've been doing a lot of benchmarking, a lot of stuff like that with the systems I've been testing on interfacing Link. So having something like this, love to see it. I'd love to see an ARM version. Maybe a RISC-V. I wouldn't fight you for that, but definitely an ARM version. You're going to have to make that one way or the other because that's coming down the pipe. Snapdragon. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
I'm working on getting a Snapdragon myself.
I went to the gardening center.
I am, I'd like to see some videos. We're supposed to have 3D Mark by now. 3D Mark said they were going to release 3D Mark in 2024. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. So, what was the last time you ran a benchmark? What was your last benchmark? That wasn't.
I think it was the donut.
The donut?
Oh, no. It was the donut. It was the donut. Because I was doing like the Cyberpunk ray tracing benchmarks before when I got the 7800. Okay. But the donut came out after that. So,
dude, if you want to see, just out of curiosity, because like that thing I talked about, the GeekCom A5 2025, I talked about, it's got the, it's basically a 5600G mobile part. But I wanted to play Cyberpunk, but I wanted to see, because I was in the menus, I'm like, okay, it supports FSR3, it supports FrameGen. Let's get this shit on at 720p. What do you think that looked like?
Probably not great.
Vaguely playable?
I'm going down to the screenshots right now because it was so fucked up. I was like, I need to share this.
All
right. Check out that hairdo.
Wow.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That reminds me of like a sushi roll or something, like a maki or.
Okay.
Where's the brain?
You're like this guy. He just disappears.
Yeah.
Oh my god! What the hell?
Now, just to keep things interesting, with the FrameGen, the entire scene's wiggling at the same time.
Oh, gross.
And you got the input latency. It was amazing. It was an experience. It was like challenge Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
that is Cyberpunk through the eyes of a cyber psycho.
Very authentic, but it was doing 40 at 720p.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I was genuinely surprised. Like, I ran Cyberpunk on my RX 580 and like it hit 40. Like, it was able to do it. Like,
a nice smooth 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was as good as my 1080 Ti.
Here's one thing, like it or not, that you got to say about the Steam Deck. It is, because it has, can't really argue this point, collectively has lowered our expectations of what performance is.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be 60. It was like 60. Now we got the Steam Deck, the handheld PC gaming, mobile PC gaming, not on your laptop, but like handheld PC gaming, which is this new thing Valve like has started to crack. Apparently 40 is the new 60 now.
And again, like it's about calibrating your expectations. If you're like playing it on like a small screen on a handheld, right, and you want to have like more than 20 minutes of battery life, something's got to give.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, even when the Steam Deck was first announced, like, you could already see PC gamers like taper your expectations in terms of power. Like, this is a handheld. to sort of dovetail it back to the topic at hand, and they want to have this out here because they want to start collecting like actual performance data on like SteamOS handhelds, like the Steam Deck, the Legion Go, and whatnot. What I want to know is, are they going to have a thing that lets you link your system score to your Steam profile so you can brag to your friends?
I'd be down with it. Like, I like this. One of the reasons I run Geekbench as much as I do when I test these single board computers and other machines is because when I get done running Geekbench, it gives me a URL. And I put that in and I can claim it. And it's like stored. So if this does this with Cloud Save, with Steam Anywhere, I'm going to be able to pull this shit up. Huge fan of that.
It'd be great. It would be great too if like you can look at someone's profile if they're killing you a bunch in a game and be like, oh well, this guy has like a fucking 59 dual 5090s and like blah blah blah. Of course he's kicking my ass.
I'll make all the excuses outside of skill.
It's all about screen refresh, man. That's where the nitty gritty CS:GO-y fighty gets in right there.
A direct line of copium right from Steam to your veins, man.
I mean, if you want somebody to like look at you like a peasant, tell them you only have a 120 hertz monitor. If you fucking around with CS:GO, they were like, how do you even play.
It's like, oh, you might as well just be playing with the peasants on console, right? Like,
Yeah, right. Like with your controller.
Listen, I only play at 60 hertz. That's all I need.
Speaking
okay, well, we say that, but there's some motherfucker out there clicking on heads at 14 FPS, and he's winning
yeah.
on some claptastic laptop from 2006.
Yeah, but that's because some people are just genetic freaks who are built different and are just capable of doing that.
Using
shit.
a touchpad.
Yeah, using the clip mouse.
I would take that any day over a touchpad.
They can calculate time. That's how they already know the delay, the millisecond delay, and they're already calculating time of where the dude's going. And they're like, boop.
I wonder if there's like anything. What was it? I think it was the Xbox that you could literally buy like the homebrew switch to cut your fucking Ethernet on and off.
Oh yeah,
to induce lag on the other.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore.
Oh, weird.
Well, speaking of frame rates, this one Rohit posted in Discord, one of our lovely Discord, where you can get at by subbing to our Patreon at patreon.com/LinuxGamecast. We'll show some more later, but Rohit's been there forever. He is the originator of #5dudes. And he has, I guess now that his newborn baby has reached mostly self-sufficiency, Rohit has decided to start working on a new child. He recently had done the source port of No One Lives Forever 2 in the LaTeX engine. Now he's on Far Cry. This one is Near Chuckle. He was soliciting names. What is the opposite of Far Cry?
That's what that was
in Discord. Yeah, and I'm like, okay, well, near laugh, whatever. And I'm like, well, a Far Cry is like a colloquial phrase, right? So what is like the opposite sentiment? And I came across Pulls Apart, and then I started singing Journey nonstop for like 5 minutes. Pulls apart, hearts broken in two. Anyways, but no, it's very, very early phases. There's a lot of crashes, but I'd love to shout this out. As a member of our community doing some cool stuff. If you are interested in playing Crysis or Far Cry natively on Linux, if you're interested in playing Crysis natively on Linux, start opening up some fucking bug reports, and maybe one day you can. But yeah, for now, the game may crash when you fire a weapon. There are still some issues with case-sensitive file systems. They're working on it. It's a brand new project. Don't expect miracles in the immediate future, but in the near future, maybe some cool stuff.
Hey man, there's already some open tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, broken. Yeah, decals and all that. Cool, man. I'm down for it. Except for hang on. Let's scroll all the way further into the bus. Yep. Put some goddamn screenshots up.
I think the problem is that like it crashes before it can get a screenshot.
Just give me an error console. I don't care.
Yeah, get the picture of like the window like mid closing animation.
Yeah, just the broken image from Internet Explorer, man.
Yeah, just load up the repost with a bunch of like busted JPEGs.
There'll be a link in the show notes. It's Near Chuckle. Go check it out. Give it a star.
Yeah,
while you're there, do the thing.
Speaking of GitHub, we're done talking about games. Now we're talking about game-related things, like curves, real curves. You like a real good curves? Svelte hourglass figure.
Well, you mean like the curves in my UEFI?
Sure. I mean, the letter U does have a curve in it. No, this is LACT. Very, very milky. It's a tool you can use to adjust your clocks and whatnot for video cards under Linux if you're using open source drivers or even proprietary drivers. I think they work with them. There is a new release now. This is not 7.4. The big change here is once upon a time the fan curve customization dialog was just a series of sliders. Now it is a more aesthetically pleasing curve diagram. Also, there's a flat pack version of it, although you should not use that if you are have a encrypted home directory or if you're on NixOS with like some weird setups. The other neat thing here is there's some smarter detection for automatic fan control on NVIDIA GPUs. So it turns out that on new NVIDIA GPUs,
30 series, so it works on vintage.
Ooh. Yes, so this is very much a new thing. I think maybe tied into the GSP firmware. Not quite sure, but
no, it's been around. Yeah, I experienced this. I know exactly. Yeah, this is like first-hand experience dealing with because previously I used a script that was a fucking YAML file, which I like had to plug in moon values to get it. Because what happens with the NVIDIA card is NVIDIA cards want to just go to bed. They want to cut the fucking fans off. Like that's built into the firmware. Like, I'm not doing anything.
On auto.
Spin the fucking fans down. So if you enabled something like this, it would never be able to just, if it got cool enough to where it didn't need the fans, it wouldn't be able to cut them off anymore.
Yeah,
they'd have to spin 35%. Yeah, mine's are 35% right now. So now LACT will, if it falls under a certain temperature threshold, it'll just shut the power, switch the power or fan curve management over to auto, so that it can actually shut down. And then it has a check where if the temperature goes above a certain level, then it will re-enable the fan curve. It's a little hack, but that's what you need to do. I got a special brand of hell though. The reason I have mine are always running at minimum 30 is because this EVGA card will cut the fans off. It'll go.
Okay.
You're like, for whatever reason, your Corsair case is the perfect temperature to be 1/2 of 1 degree, enough to make me want to cut the fans back on. So then it goes, and as soon as they spin back up, now it's below that temperature where it wants to be on.
Yeah.
So they sleep. So every 3 seconds, it goes, wonk, wonk, wonk. Yeah.
It gives just a little bit of juice.
You know the sound of a fan, like right when it cuts on, like that's the sound you fucking hear. So yeah, regardless, this is a cool feature if you don't have that issue. But like, yeah, this 36. Thanks EVGA. I'm sure I'll get a refund. Yeah, great utility. LACT. I use it. All the AMD stuff, all my NVIDIA stuff. It's not just for fans, but I like these curves. If you've been to the UEFI, you've opened it up. Hopefully nothing was wrong. You were just being curious. Or if you're like me, you like to come in and set fan curves, for your system fans. You're like, summertime, I got a profile. Wintertime, I got a profile. Why? Because I don't want shit to get too hot. I don't need shit to get, I don't need noise when I don't need it too. Wintertime, I don't need these fans spinning fast, barely wheezing anything up there. It looks like this now. Instead of having going up and down and up and down. It was kind of dumpy. Love to see it. I'm probably the only one here that's ever touched a fan curve.
I've messed around with it a little bit, but like I don't really have a.
I think everybody has like designs to do it at some point. They're just like, fan burr.
At a certain point, I like, what is this actually going to give me in terms of like the effort I spend to like set it up? Yeah. And the answer is very little.
Oh, come on. The best thing about having a bunch of fucking fans in a big full-size tower is to open your UEFI and just click the button that says all full.
All full,
and just watch all your fans go up to 100% where it goes, and like, so that's how loud I could get. All right. Pretty cool.
Okay. No, in terms of curves, I wouldn't say I do only fans. So, what? Who said that?
very sly. You're talking about fans.
Yeah.
Hey, man, listen, I snuck in one of those jokes recently. Don't worry about it. Stay tuned.
Don't worry.
Don't worry about it.
Onlyfans.com/LinkedIn.
Yes.
Check out our curves.
LACT. Install it. Yeah, the flat pack. There's a flat pack version if you want it to open slower and take up more space. Don't just install the damn. Go look at the downloads, dude. That thing is. It's got Ubuntu, Debian. Fucking you know you're dealing hardcore because it's got SUSE.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a specific SUSE RPM.
Oof. SUSE?
Arch.
Oh, guaranteed there's like
it's
an
there.
Arch
AUR
out there.
Is anything like this built into like GNOME or KDE?
No, I don't think so. They don't usually have a lot of the hardware management stuff in there beyond messing around with some like display or battery settings.
Yes, it's like poking around on GNOME when I was wondering because this is like this little monitor I got does it like HDR, and I saw like the HDR button show up when I plug it in. I'm like, I wonder
especially for the display stuff on Wayland too. Like a lot of it is just like DE specific because it's just like how you implement the protocol as opposed to like here's a library that you import. So
one thing I don't have to worry about is blinky bullshit. The only thing I got back here is our fine upstanding cannibal wall. That's all the blinky bullshit I can handle because you guys are awesome.
Drives you crazy.
But when it comes to fans, keyboards, like legit, like this keyboard does not have a LED on it at all. Not even numlock, not even caps lock. As I might type really shouty sometimes before I'm like, oh wait, fuck. Then I Google, is there a website that can convert all my uppercase shit that I just wrote into lower? Yeah. Which has happened. Blinky S fans, all my AIOs, the LED stuff was unplugged. My first Ryzen motherboard that had red LEDs, I manually clipped all of those out. Not a fan of it. And some people bought into that hype. They did. They are going to have rainbow vomit and blinky bullshit all throughout their case. And that's cool. But Dominic was like, hold on, man.
Yeah, links to all this stuff in our show notes, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if
blinky bullshits, and I'm no fan of it, man. Like, I don't care what you do. Couple of points though. What do you guys think about this? Is like, yeah, it breaks, like the controllers and the LEDs and just affect, well, because it's cheaply made shit, like, you know. And it's a spaghetti nightmare cables, again, with the controllers, if you got a bunch of stuff going on in there. And like the real monster, it's my fault. This is why I wanted to take this story, because that right there is a desktop PC with a plexi glass or clear side panel.
This looks like a tanning booth.
Yeah.
It can be dual purpose. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. Hear me out. We make
tanning LEDs.
Yes, we put some fucking UV fucking RGB frames and we just cook people.
Blind the fuck out of some gamers.
Yeah. LGC cares. So my generation, we're the ones responsible for taking a regular, ordinary, perfectly fine fucking case with nothing wrong with it, putting Dremels to that shit, going to the depot stores and buying plexiglass and sealing it up. Like, we're responsible for the side panels. And like, if that not happened, none of this would. I don't think we would ever, like, what would be the point, right? Wouldn't have to worry about it. So,
just to know that it's there.
I can feel the RGB.
Yeah, in those old, like, plain white, like, yellowing plastic cases, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just open that shit up and it's like fucking Wonderland in there.
All right, let me be perfectly clear. You do that, we're cool. You can come over and hang out. Like, I can respect that. Like, if I pop off the case, I'm like, God damn, all right.
Yeah, that's called committing to the bit, though, obviously.
Yeah.
But, you know, ultimately, you came to it's like, I don't want to deal with the stuff anymore. And that's cool. You know, flavors change in taste, but that's the least of your problem. Why? Because you're the type of person that has a tower on their desk, which, like, their RGB stuff, least of your problems. We got to start there, man. We got to start there with me going, why do you do that? I guess it's to look at it though, right?
Yeah, that is really the point, is if you're going to be like, you know, kitting out your PC and you're going to have like the software that like syncs up the LED pulses with like the music that's playing in the fucking game or the gameplay itself, like ostensibly you do want to look at it. You want it to be visible so that other people can look at it.
I think maybe it could be like a self-correcting thing. Like if he goes an all dark build, you know, then there won't be the desire to like have the lights up there for the visual stimuli and be like, oh, I could get back a lot of desk space just by putting it under the desk.
And like, I also do wonder, unless you're like a real big RGB diehard, and especially like after you've been doing it for a while, does the novelty wear off? And I think maybe this is what this guy is experiencing, right? Like, this was a cool idea, and then it's like, okay, well, like again, what is the juice worth the squeeze? What does this actually get me? Not really much.
I mean, I get it, Sandy. You've seen RGB, but do you have any blinky bullshit?
No.
Like, I have blinky bullshit in this case.
I got blinky back of the PS4.
All right. What color?
That changes color.
What color you got it?
I got it purple.
Though.
Mine's. I tried to make mine fucking pink. It didn't happen. It's like some sad ass red.
I tried to make mine the ugliest fucking color I could. I'm just like,
yeah.
What is the closest to puke brown that I can get on? But like even that LED is super fucking useful, because oh my god, the colors sync to your player position, and that's really good in terms of like, hey, who is player one? Who is the blue one is player one, the red one is player two, the orange one, and that's like consistent, so you can find out who the fuck you are.
But there is some good news that I wanted to touch on. I think it was it MSI? Shit, might have been Corsair. Somebody is working. No, this is not a problem under Linux. We got Open RGB, which is great. You know, if you're going to get the blinkies, that's the easiest way to do it. Universal. It's a nightmare under Windows because everybody's got their own software with security issues all the way down the stack to control like 3 different fan types.
On Linux, it's all just fucking reverse engineered. So just like we're gonna just throw shit at it, and sometimes the lights change.
We're like, what? Oh, yeah, it's probably in the kernel, man. As weird as that is. But where was I going with that? I don't think we got to worry about it. Like, if you get over it, you get over it. I want to say it was Corsair though. They were working on a web application.
Okay,
and I think that's the right way to go about it. Is tying your fan control to the internet.
Yeah, I see nothing bad ever happening from that.
At all. If I can make you... Yeah.
Smash cut to that scene from Twister.
The thing I loved about this article... The thing I loved a lot about this article was this guy, he's just like, yeah, I'm over it. You know, like... He's like, I finally seen the light. RGB is stupid. You know, like, it's pointless. He's seen the light? Yeah. Yeah, see, he's not drinking the Kool-Aid anymore. The first thing I thought of when I got to the end of that article, I was like, Father, the sleeper has awakened.
I really just want to sit on a spider chair dog now. I don't know. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy. If you like looking at, if you get the dopamine hit from looking at shiny blinking lights, by all means.
I mean, that's the whole thing. And like one of the beautiful things of like, you know, Reddit as a news source. No, but Reddit as a place where you can find a community of like, you know, I fucking love blinky bullshit lights and PCs.
Yeah.
Find your weirdos. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, when are we going to get some proper RGB on the Steam Deck?
Oh, I'm sure we're going to get like RGB strips, RGB cooling pads.
What do you think?
Oh, no. What we need a line of accessories for the Steam Deck that replicates those old Game Boy accessories that like kitted it out and made it look like a fucking like sci-fi device.
I think
with the magnifying glass and the backlight and like the extra battery packs. Yes.
Well, that and the camera.
Smile, you're on Game Boy camera.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything in here really offensive.
No. Yeah.
I guess like the darkest thing is like whatever this is. Cooling docking station,
cooling pad. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. The Steam Deck gets hot. It's not like the best like thermally designed thing.
It's got some blinky shit on it, I think.
Yeah, it's got blinky shit.
It says right there,
blinky
shit.
handles.
Yeah. If you want to swap out the backplate. Okay.
Huh.
Well, and like that, and that's the other thing too.
That's
is like,
tasteful.
And like a lot of the backplate mods for the Steam Deck are actually really functional because they just like add more ventilation. So
this one even like has different charging. Okay. And I think if you've listened to this far and you didn't rage quit because you're a RGB enthusiast, what I'm talking about is the rainbow kaleidoscope of like melt your eyes off. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you got a little thing.
Seizure City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! That's cool. All right, never mind. I'm actually kind of a fan of this. Did you see how it was charging?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Where it like lights up when
directly
it's like
into the back.
Yeah. Oh,
I was like, hot damn.
$40.
There are a lot of like neat Steam Deck mods that are like pretty low cost that like really just like improve the quality of life.
Like I think that looks svelte.
Yeah.
Like it's tasteful, right? Like
yeah.
Well, yeah, because you're not seeing the cable coming from the top of the Steam Deck.
Yeah, and that's what ruins it, man.
Yeah, that's totally not even worth the money, you know? Like, get rid of that cable.
Can barely run Monster Hunter Worlds.
Yeah.
You need like 4 more RGBs for that.
You got to go back and play the cyberfunk. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're running long, but before we get out of here, hey, if you want to get in touch with us, head over to Linux Gamecast. Come check out our other show. Weekly, daily Wednesday. Jordan and Sandy are still battling Baldur's and Gates.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think Empty is going to be joining you in short order.
In a few weeks. Apparently, he's just too good at darts. He keeps winning.
I read that conversation at our super secret Discord. It's like, God damn it. I read Empty as like Empty talks.
Yeah. And it was funny too, because like the conversation we had like 2 months ago was like, yeah, you know, the season's ending. We got like one more game. Yeah. I don't think we're gonna win this next one. Just one, maybe two more, and then like, yeah, we just keep winning.
What we're saying is congratulations, Tian. You're doing good.
Yeah. Don't upset him, or he will throw something at you, and he will hit.
There you go.
Yeah.
Weekly Daily Wednesdays. If you want to hear about carnivorous pie, we talked about that. And if you want to get in touch with us, smash that contact button, fam. Leave us a comment. Well, you got to send a email address. You'll be able to figure it out. We check that. I check that. Like if it's pretty good, we'll put it right here in the show, or just leave a comment on the YouTube video or the Patreon post. And if you don't want it read on the Patreon post, also be like, no, do not read on the show. I'm like, all right, we got you. Because if you don't, we probably will. That's going to do it. We got, speaking of Patreon, patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. Gets you access to our super secret Discord. Gets you access to our show notes. Gets you access to the live and uncut version of the show. And so much more. You can barely deal with it. It's a rapture of
Patreoning?
Patroning. Also, good news. You know what? Thank you, Epic. Tim Sweetie.
Yep.
You no longer have to pay the Apple tax on the Patreon app.
Yep.
On iOS.
Oh, very nice.
Broken clock, right? Twice a day, you know.
That's good for a lot of developers, dude. Like now Apple doesn't get their 30-35% for existing.
Or like just creators in general, right? Like there's a lot of people who
the good thing about hear this, dude. I didn't even know this. I don't pay close enough attention, but like if people buy like even subscription stuff, or like, we do ours like per episode.
Yeah.
They pay out on net 90.
Jesus.
You got to wait 3 months. Like developers do too, or it might be 70 days, whatever.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like,
it's like really rough for creators, especially like for Patreon and stuff, where like they were just like, taking a cut off every payment you made over iOS. You had to open up a browser and go subscribe over that.
You had to do it manually. Like you couldn't do it like the previous Apple rules. I've like looked into this and followed it with a couple of like app developers, mostly people doing games, with like you couldn't have a link in your app to open a web browser to take you to an alternate payment method. Like this is Apple being fucking Apple, dude.
Mm-hmm.
So now they have that option.
Garden spikes on top of the walls.
And I had no idea up until recently that they didn't, like even app developers, like you didn't get paid until months later, dude. And
That's
I'm like,
crazy.
Damn, Apple. Damn, making Google blush.
Cold.
Making Steam. Well, this is why, Steam. All you got to do is exist. You get to be the good guys just by not being that evil, right?
Yeah, exactly.
by merely staying the course and doing nothing.
Yeah. Never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake, right?
Yeah, exactly. Epic Patrona.
Stick around for your names in the credits, but it's time to cue the music. You can always find us right here on Twitch, 8 p.m. twitch.tv/Linux Gamecast. If you're listening, come watch. We got a YouTube channel, just /Linux Gamecast. We're that old. We don't even need that symbol in front of there. Like and subscribe, share, and all that fun stuff that you do. We like to hear from people that watch the show. Get in touch with me. I'm just at Venstone, man. You can find me in our Discord. You can find me in the forums over on Interfacing Linux and any social media that has Venstone, because like we're probably just even Vin, man, because nobody has that stupid name.
I'm Mr. Strong Curves. You can adjust my curves via whatever slider you like at Frojo at bsky.social or at Frojo at mass.linuxgamecast.com.
And I'm Standin Martin. Sandy Martin. God damn it.
He tried.
You can find me on Mastodon, man. At Altimore at mass.linuxgamecast.com.
Next week.
Yeah.
Nobody can be the crow.
No.
We all got to show up in like super girly like pink blonde hair, like oh my god.
I would see now like we got to do is like what if we like went to like Temu and got like crow outfits.
Yes.
Just coat ourselves in lead paint.
Yes.
Love it.
It'd be lovely. And so you can stick it out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, time for some credits.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You get last week's credits. I have to read it.
Luminescence.
We are. I had a funny one for this week too. Damn it.
Fix it in post.
No, I'll save it for next week.
No,
That's
all
good.
right. Well,
Yeah.
we got to thank our advisor, Arthur, and we got to thank our executive producers, Barbara, Scott, Atomic Ass, 1345, Kaducky, Drummer, Targos, and our little Nicky fans, Eggy, Empty, Basil, and Casey.
Sea Monsters, John, Dirty Dean, Angle, Dementor, System T, RL, Rider X Machina, Nahama, Veritanuda, Truggy, Mike, and Kaijorai.
And in the Death Notes, we got Red Ski, Mark J, Terra Oil of Hope, Benjamin, Chair Legs, we got Becca Tim, Euthanasia, we got a lot of people, Literacy, Zin,
Literacy, baby. Literacy.
and then there's me and
This is what we
Johnny.
bring. This is what we bring to the table.
What if we got the TikTok voice to just read out all of the fucking Patreons one time?
You know, everybody can play with us at home. For whatever reason, I think it's because it's like multiple people on the show. It fucks it up, but it does it for my interfacing Linux shit, is it gives me like 4 different languages to choose from. But what I do have access to in DaVinci Resolve is like 3... It'll read the voice and change it to a like male or female AI voice. So if you want to say anything, Jordan, I'll run it through the filter. You got any profoundness?
My nipples are so hard. Please reboot me.
All right.
My stanza!
I was trying to think of the fucking Dr. Tran one, you know, when they like replace the dude's voice with like the robot voice.
This is a typical
Oh,
thing
yeah.
from a Standy Martin.
Yeah.
Now available. Stored at linuxgamecast.com.
That's why you gotta get like the tape recorder of Sandy quotes and you tape it to the back of Standy Martin.
Oh, yeah.
And you put it on a
Yeah.
timer so that every 30 seconds you get a different Sandy quote from Standy.
Hey, why is my butt hurt? Such quotes as...
Dynafire, everyone. We'll see you next week. You too can get a Standy Martin.
Standy Martin.
Now available and fun size.
5 dudes.